Good morning, I'm Maria from the Richardson Simple Living. Today's Tuesday, so I've come with another vlog. I thought today we'd just take a quick look through the history book so I can show you what that one involves. It's all of them then. I'll have covered all the books that we use. There are other books out there covering different subjects, but the ones I've shown you are just the ones that we use. So if we'll have a look for that, it pretty much follows the same format as the others, so it shouldn't take us too long to have a quick look through. And I'm filming in my kitchen today for the light. I'll show you why in a minute, but we'll just have a flick through the history book first. Right, so this is the Key Stage 3 Revision History. It's all in one revision and practice. I do like these sort of books the best. And it's Sir Collins, as you can see. It pretty much follows the same format as the others. I'm trying to turn you around so the light's not catching you, because there's no light in the other room whatsoever. But I'll show you why in a minute. Anyway, so in the GCSE history books, I've not got one, but when I was looking through what they entailed, I did notice that different books cover different things. So it had me wondering, are the books covering everything you need for these courses? So this is why I keep saying, you know, to check other books out and check what the curriculum does have, what it studies, to make sure that you're covering everything that you need to cover if you're needing to cover it, you know. So anyway, this one pretty much follows the same format as the others. I'll just show you briefly. So we've got, it starts with the Norman Conquest, which is quite good because I realised, it took me ages to realise, though, it carries on from year 6, because in year 6 they did Anglo-Saxons and Vikings, and of course then came the Norman Conquest, so they move up to secondary school and carry on with that. So it took me a while to realise that. So yeah, as you can see, there's part 1 of that, and the same normal quick test questions, which we do in an exercise book. It's got your key points. And then it's got like the Norman Conquest 2 questions, and it has a timeline as well. I find a lot of the history ones have got timelines on them, and key points. It goes on to Christendom and the Crusades 1, following the same format, and part 2. Then it takes us to the Magna Carta. There's part 1 of that. Questions, key points. And part 2 of the Magna Carta, again key points and your test questions at the bottom, and a timeline. I find the timeline's quite handy. Then it takes us on to the Black Death. And your test questions, some key points. I quite like the little pictures they have in them as well, I do. Black Death part 2, tells you all about it. Your test. And this place is not that far from me. Well, say it's not that far, it's probably about an hour's run, but if that. But it's sort of in Derbyshire, if that counts. But yeah, it's not a million miles from me, and I have been there a few times. And I was hoping to take Sian this summer, but the weather wasn't very good when I was hoping to go. So maybe next year we'll get to go up there, because it does involve a lot of walking in fields and things. So that was the plague village in Iam, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So again, you've got the timeline. Then it takes us to review questions, and as with the other books that do this, it starts off with Key Stage 2 questions, review questions. Well, of course, we haven't done the Key Stage 2 book, so we just had to Google and go from memory what we knew, what not. So she didn't do too bad. Then the practice questions, so it'll take you through the Norman Conquest on your practice questions. Christendom and the Crusades. I think she wrote all this before we started her exercise book, and realised it might be a good idea to put these in the exercise book as well as the quick test ones. Magna Carta, you test questions on that, and the Black Death. And then it starts a new section. So rather than go through all of that, I'll just tell you from the front. So it covers like Britain 1066, 1059. So I've just shown you these: the Norman Conquest, Christendom and the Crusades, Magna Carta, Black Death and the Peasants' Revolt. So then we add our review questions and test questions. Then it goes on to Britain 1509 to 1745 with the Reformation and Counter-Reformation, the English Civil War and the interregnum, however you say that, interregnum. And then it goes to your review questions and like your practice questions. I called it test questions, it's practice questions, sorry. Then it covers Britain 1745 to 1901, which is the British transatlantic slave trade, Britain as the first industrial nation and the democratic reform. Then it goes on to review questions and your practice questions. So like your review goes like but one before and your practice goes but before what you've just done, sort of thing. So that's how it carries on. I showed you, I think, was it the geography book? I showed you how it did that. So Britain in 1901 to present was the women's suffrage, the First World War, the Second World War, the creation of the welfare state and Britain's place in the world 1945 to present. Obviously then it's a review questions and practice questions. Then it's British social history, migration to and from the British Isles. And again you get your practice and review questions. Then world history, USA in the 20th century, and you've got your practice and test questions. So it goes on then to your test style, mixed test style questions. So what I'm going to do is take you up to that. So I think Sian's about to start that actually when she's had this little half-term break. First World War. Find it. Oh, I thought it was there. There's a bit more yet. They are good books, they're good sized books and they do keep you going. So yes, I think when she finished the last one, there was quite a lot of review and practice questions. So after that module of USA in the 20th century, there was review questions of the First World War and of the Second World War. There was more review questions on the creation of the welfare state and Britain's place in the world 1945 to present. Then it went on to practice questions, migration to and from the British Isles and the USA in the 20th century. But then it went back to review questions again, which only time it does it is just before the mixed style questions. It doesn't do it anywhere else in the book. So that was my, yeah, I've just said that, migration to from the British Isles and USA in the 20th century. Then it starts the mixed style questions. What I want to show you with these, I think it's quite good because they get a choice. So you just choose one question to answer. So she hasn't got to answer all of the questions. She just picks one that she wants to answer. So she could do it on studying the source below, on the death of King Harold, King of the Saxons, and then answer the questions that follow. So she'll study the picture. And then it asks you what the source tells you about the Battle of Hastings, so you can write an account of the battle and what are its drawbacks and giving you reasons for your answer. Or question 2, you could study the source below, which was written by French doctor Guy de Chauliac in 1363. So that's your source. And then it will ask you questions, why does this source not give you enough information about what people at the time thought caused the Black Death, and give you reasons for the answer. So I don't know which one Sian will pick to do. She'll start that now next week, we'll see. Again, on the mixed out questions, you choose one. I won't go through all of it, but you pick one out of the 2. And it's quite nice because you've got room to answer and you've got pages to write. So I do quite like that. The same again, you choose one question. It talks about the marks there, the worth marks, but we don't do anything about the marks. We have nothing to do with that. We don't mark them in that sense. I mean, I give them a tick whether they're right, or we'll talk to anything that's a bit off and we'll add bits on, but you know. So yeah, you pick again, have a choice then, plenty of paper to write it on. Again here, you just choose one question to answer. So you've got a choice out of 3 there to pick, and loads of writing space, which I really like this part, because obviously in the rest of it we're having to use an exercise book. It doesn't give you nowhere to write. Same again, choice of 3 and you pick 1, lots of space to write. And again, so it's sort of going through the whole of what you've been learning there, really, but you get a choice which you want to do, and then it just gives you like a history 6 key skills. Let me read them, you can see them there. So we'll just read that together. Got the answers then for that part. So after that, it's quite good because it's got a timeline as well of events, which is really good. I mean, I know a lot of children that go to school and they use these books at home as well. It's not just for homeschoolers, you know, that they can be for any children. So then it just goes on to the index, and then we start the history workbook. And as you can see, that's nice and chunky. And this then, it covers the same again, look. Britain 1066 to 1509, the Norman Conquest, Christendom and the Crusades, Magna Carta, Black Death, Peasants' Revolt, Britain 1509 1745, Reformation and Counter-Reformation, the English Civil War and the Interregnum, Britain 1745 to 1901, the British transatlantic slave trade, Britain as the first industrial nation and democratic reform, Britain 1901 to present, the women's suffrage, First World War, the Second World War, the creation of the welfare state and Britain's place in the world 1945 to present. And then British social history, migration to and from the British Isles, and world history, USA in the 20th century. And again, it has some mixed style questions at the end. So it's pretty much similar, but the only difference is you actually get the writing space in this workbook. It's quite good. So it's just a case, like, I'm just flicking pages here, reading your questions. You may need to go back to the section which covers it, so to reread it to get your answers for your questions, or you may already know the answers, but it's quite good to go through and read. So it sort of goes over it a few times really to sound it all down. So yeah, it's every page has got room to write in here, so we shouldn't need the exercise book unless she writes more than she can fit on to the page, and obviously we'll have to go to it. Then at the end, mixed style questions, got a couple, and again with these mixed style ones it says just choose 1 question from each answer. I remember we've already studied this picture and wrote things about it, so she might choose to do it again, or she might choose to do something different. And is this one the same? Yeah, just choose 1 question. So again, it looks like these mixed style questions at the back, you just choose 1 question. So she'll definitely choose one to do with the world wars. So yeah, and the answers again, when we've done all these, there's a few pages of mixed style questions, and you've got the answers for this workbook section at the back of them. So all in all, it's a really good book. They are good books. I mean, we love the history book. We love history anyway. But yeah, they are worth getting. I do recommend them. The Collins are my favourites. I like them. They're easy to understand. Plenty in the book to go at. They're really good. But like I said, the only thing to check out is if it is covering all of the curriculum, if you're following curriculum, because obviously you will need to have the whole thing. So just check that they are including everything that you'll need. So I'm in the living room. You can see why it's dark, because of the window. But look how dark it is in here. We've just been in the kitchen to review the book, how bright it is, and it's really dark in here. It's because Lisa has got a Halloween dress. Well, it's actually a wedding dress, and she converted it to be like a ghost bride, a corpse bride, whatever. So you can see she's splattered fake blood on it. I mean, she's done this a couple of years, but she works on it every year and adds extras. She bought like a shawl I think it was last year or the year before, from Halloween, from Poundland in the Halloween section, and she just sort of pulled it apart a bit and pinned it here and there to make it look, you know, like it's all decrepit and she's just come out the grave. So yeah, that's her wedding dress. I was like, Lisa, you can't cut your wedding dress up. She said, I'm not cutting it. I said, yeah, but you're destroying it. She said, no, I wouldn't be wearing it again anyway, she said. So she says, how often do you wear your wedding dress? I thought, I can't even fit in mine. Yeah. So that's what she does with it. And she'd been working on the veil as well. She's been putting spiders on, as you can see. She's been doing that. Although she's not sure now whether she'll wear the veil or not, because she's got like a red long cape, a velvety red long cape. So if it's cold, she might have that on. But if it's quite mild, she'll perhaps just put this on, I don't know. But she's working on them anyway. So yeah, most Halloweens we get lots of people at our house, and people wanting to take their pictures. The children want the pictures taken next to Lisa when she's wearing it all and she's got all the makeup on. It does look really effective. So I'll have to show you that. Hopefully we'll get some clips during Halloween weekend, and then probably next Tuesday we'll put them on, because Friday it's the gardening collab, so I'll be doing that on Friday. So hopefully next Tuesday we'll have filmed some Halloween things. I've been telling you as well about Sian's been going crafting at her brother's house, and that's what she's been making. Look, she made some nice pumpkins, really good. There was like 3 of them. Can't get it to stand back up now. I'll do it like that. There was 3 of them. There was a little teeny one as well, but the dog knocked it off and chewed it, which is a shame. So yeah, she'd been making them, and she'd been making like jars that light up and things like that as well. So she went again last night and did some more crafting last night. Although she's on half term this week, she still does self-led things and went off crafting last night. So yeah, she's been doing that. Another thing we've had today through the post I shall tell you about. Yeah, through the post this morning's just come a letter from the NHS for Sian to go for a jab, to book an appointment for a jab. So they said either your school can do it, or you can choose to go to like a walk-in centre and do it. And I'm thinking, oh, because I've had a letter as well, it's time for a flu vaccine. She has like the nasal one, you know, and she's been having them because she's asthmatic anyway. But they were doing them through schools, and the doctors always send for her as well. But she was doing them at school. But last year, obviously, because she was homeschooled, she had it through the doctor. But this year now I'm thinking, oh dear, I don't know whether to send her for it, because I'm worried they're going to go on to her about the jab. And I don't know whether they'll let me in with her because she's 13. They might say she's got to go in on her own. And I'm worried they're going to pressurise her about it. So I'm a bit concerned about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not against anybody having the jab at all. I mean, I've had my 2 and Dean's had his 2. Some of our family have had them, some of them haven't. It's just choice for everybody. You do what you feel is best, you know, what you want to do. But I'm a bit nervous because Sian's only, I was going to say 12 then, she's 13 now, isn't she? But yeah, she's only 13, only just 13. And I think it's a bit young, really. I think it's a bit too young. And the fact that she doesn't go into school and mingle in a school full of children either. I mean, she does go down to my granddaughters, because they were in the same class at school, but they do mix, that's who she's been going crafting with. And I know, like, my granddaughter's at school, so things could carry, I suppose. It's not impossible. But, you know, I just don't feel ready for her to have it yet. I just don't feel ready yet. I mean, not saying that at some point we might decide, yeah, okay. But right now, no, I don't. So I'm a bit concerned. So, yeah, I'm a bit concerned about it. So all of you that have got children 12 years old and older, if you haven't already received an NHS letter, you will probably be getting one shortly asking for you to take your child. So it seems reading on it though that all the schools haven't had the rollout yet, so it hasn't progressed very far yet. So maybe I should nip her in for the flu vaccine and say, yeah, we've just had a letter this morning and we'll be booking her in independently because she doesn't go to school and then just not book her in. Because after all, it's our choice, isn't it? It's our choice at the end of the day. So I'd rather just monitor the situation and decide when I feel it's right or if I feel it's right. And Sian doesn't want to do it anyway because she's uncertain of it. So I'd rather just wait and we'll see. You know, I know some people will say, oh, well, you're waiting and it could be too late then. But, you know, like I say, we'll just monitor it and monitor what happens. But anyway, that's that. I don't want to get into that debate. I'm just like, oh no. Everything always comes at once. There are always these appointments for everything. We've had our eye appointments waiting to go to now for a long time. About a year ago, I should have made an appointment to go and been putting it off and everything because it's so awkward getting in the shops and 3 of us have to go. And then they're saying, oh, you know, you can't all come at once. And well, we've only got one driver. So, well, you know, we all do go together. But, oh dear, we all live in one house. So I don't know. Anyway, not going to moan. I just came to the letter and thought, oh, I know what that is. Oh, Sian's in bed, so I've got to tell you. But anyway, I don't think I've got anything else to show you or tell you at the moment. Actually, it's not too dark here, but it would have been a bit dark to show you the book in here, I think. Because I've got my chairs on the table as well. I'm about to sweep the floors and mop all Cassie's muddy footprints up. So yeah, next time I'll be on now Friday. It's going to be the gardening vlog on Friday. I haven't been outside in the garden for a while. Well, I had a walk around it the other day, but not done nothing in it. And I just thought, oh, what a mess. And it is a mess, a real mess. Dean has chopped up the blue table and chairs we had because they were falling to pieces. Planks were coming off it, so he chopped that up. I think he's going to use that on bonfire night. So it is all a mess, but you'll see it as it is. All raw and awful. And we'll see what plans we've got for it for next year. So that'll be Friday. That's the last one then this year. So we'll come back Friday and do that. And then hopefully Halloween weekend's going to be quite busy. I've got grandchildren staying with me. Got a granddaughter. We have her every other weekend anyway. She always stays from a Friday to a Sunday. So weekend with us, and another grandson's come to stay because he always comes to stay like the night between Halloween, day before, because he helps put decorations out. It's just part of something he likes doing. So he's coming to stay as well, and obviously Sian will be here, so it's going to be hectic. I've got lots of things going on. Hopefully I'll get to film bits and pieces of it. And what I'll try and do as well, film them boxes that Lisa made that I keep saying we'll let you see, and again to film them and show you what they actually are. Some of you might have guessed what they are, I don't know, but we'll film them and show you what they are. That's something I mustn't forget to do. But yeah, so we'll film bits and pieces over the weekend, and then next Tuesday I can show you sort of, not a day in the life of, but like a weekend in the life of. A weekend in the life of a Halloween party. So yeah, anyway, next time I'll see you now will be Friday, and we'll do the gardening collab, the last one of the year. So until then, have a good few days, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.